4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. We're putting the final touches on the Minnesota presentation on why mail beats digital, direct marketing beats media. So it's up on the WDMA.org site, and register. We'll try to record it. Those don't ever work very well, not as well as my in studio, but we'll do our best. We'll probably do a webinar on the same topic. So sign up and subscribe to WDMA.org. It's free to subscribe. But if you really like this direct marketing education every day, then join. That's what it does. It helps fund the crazy. Okay? So if you like that, let's go with it. Okay, I got a kick out of this Mexican it's got to be something. It's got to be racist or something. But it's funny. Mango habanero, turista.
What the
that means this is in
What the f is this shit?
Es el nuevo super mega extra picoso mango habanero.
Extra hot.
Solo para
habanero.
Ay, no pica
mango.
tanto.
It's not that hot. And then he says blankety blank tourists. And I don't know if it's running in the USA. But I just thought it was so great. There's got to be some kind of cultural appropriation where they make fun of all the tourists. In the long form, yes, some are black, some are white, some are from England, some are from or somewhere with a British accent. So it's not just Americans, although it's mostly Americans. So they're making fun of them. And you know what? You got to laugh at yourself. You got to laugh at your own culture, and you got to enjoy a little bit of, I probably have Polish heritage, and guess what? There were a lot of Polish jokes when I was growing up. It's part of life. You roll with it. It's not the end of the world. Get over it, you people. I watched a little bit yesterday or maybe it was today, from Ellen DeGeneres, and commenting on she was sitting next to George W. at the Packer game, and she said, sometimes I have to hang out with people I don't agree with, and because I was a Packer fan and they were all Cowboys fans. You got to check it out. I shared it on Twitter. So if you don't know my Twitter, it's @JRMiggs on Twitter.com. So anyway, let's get to the real meat. Now, this is a shocking story. Domino's was sued by a blind man who said he could not order a pizza on his mobile phone with his screen reading technology. And it might have been better for Domino's to just leave it there and fix it so it could read the screen. I tried some screen reading software because, when you drive, if it could read you the articles that you're interested in, you could cover a lot of ground while you drive. And now GetPocket.com has a mobile app called Pocket, and it reads articles. So you can save articles into your Pocket, and then while you drive, it just reads them to you, and it's really fun. But anyway, his software screen reading technology wouldn't read their site, and he couldn't place an order. Now, I have Domino's on speed dial. I shouldn't admit that, but it's for church up in Madison. And we just talk and it works fine. And I have my credit card memorized, and I wish they could save the credit card. But anyway, it went all the way to the Supreme Court and then got bounced back. And basically, the Supreme Court ruled that Americans with Disabilities Act applies to websites and mobile apps. That's big news for all of you people. Okay? It's big news, because how in the world are you going to modify your site to work for the blind? No mouse works. I don't even know. I've been building websites since 1995, and I built them in all kinds of platforms, and now we're mostly on WordPress. But I have no idea how this is going to be implemented. And it's not just that. But because of their declining to rule, a previous Ninth Circuit court, good old Ninth Circuit, ruled that businesses with a physical presence, what business doesn't have some physical presence somewhere, and an online presence, what business doesn't have online presence, must make their websites and mobile apps accessible to people with disabilities. I have no idea how you do that. I literally don't. And Domino's is hoping the Supreme Court would basically push it to Congress. One of the huge problems right now with all of this fighting and accusation all over the map is that nothing's getting done. Even bipartisan bills are held up. The sales tax situation is horrendous. Nobody has a safe haven for that. There are 12,000 taxing authorities in the United States. 12,000. There's no way a website can comply with that. You have to know all the tax liabilities from the person who's ordering from you, and you don't even know where they are. Not for sure. If they're, they could be shipping somewhere, but you don't really know for sure. And their address is now encrypted from your order processing, not necessarily working. And Congress needs to deal with this, and they're not. And this has got to be the most serious news of the day, and yet you probably won't hear it anywhere but here. So give me some hearts for that. Join the WDMA.org. It's cheap, and this was a good article from Adobe. 15 mind-blowing stats. Artificial intelligence allows us to make sense of an increasing large amount of data in real time. Now that is probably false. Yeah, there's more and more data, but that doesn't mean we make sense out of stuff that doesn't make sense. As I've said many times, you can correlate pi and random numbers if you have 20 billion of them, digits. You'll find long strings of correlation. Does that mean it makes sense? No. There's no sense to it at all. It's just nonsense. You can the more data you have, the more certain. I had Andrew on here a couple weeks ago, and he said, yeah, the p-values go up the more data you have, which means you can correlate anything to anything with enough data. That's scary. Yeah. So it doesn't mean it'll make sense. But 37% of organizations have implemented AI, and if you haven't found out about our, oops, did that work? I think it did. No. We've got an AI to ROI. We'll put it up here. Put it over the top of me. See if that works. Okay. Anyway, we've got an AI. We have got an AI on-ramp offer, and 37% of organizations have implemented AI. And this is the part I want to get to. Marketing and sales prioritize AI and machine learning higher than any other department in an enterprise today. People want AI to figure out what the heck is going on, right? And that's the truth. It's not easy, but it can help you. Automated customer service agents, sales process recommendations, and automation frees up more data analysts in marketing. Yeah, I can cover more ground than your whole IT team probably with what we're doing. The demand for AI has doubled, and using the technology for marketing twice as likely. Okay? Twice as likely. And that's big news. So what does the data do for you? And this is really great. From Target Marketing Magazine. Chet, I'm going to get in touch with you, Chet. I hope you follow me. So Chet says he's a data and direct marketing junkie. If data isn't accountable, if advertising isn't accountable and measurable, yeah, check my definition. If advertising isn't tested, it's not direct marketing. And that's the biggest message. That was the biggest failure of the DMA. Is direct marketing is about testing. Read Claude Hopkins' Scientific Advertising. Read anybody who wrote before the 80s, and you will find it's all about testing. And Bob Stone agreed with me 100%. They should have rewritten the definition, which they didn't. But anyway, it must also be memorable. Amen. I'm not saying it shouldn't be good advertising. I'm just saying you should run head-to-head with something. You should always be testing something. First rule of direct marketing, always test something. Not just measure, but test. You can measure till the cows come home, and that doesn't mean you'll ever have a valid test. The ad message must tell a story. Now, how does that fit with AI? And this is where we want to go. I want to end up today. Well, there's two actual definitions by AI scientists. One is prescriptive AI, which tells you basically nothing, but it gives you, prescriptive tells you a story. Predictive doesn't worry about the story and just gives you lift. And the problem is that prescriptive doesn't give you as much lift. Doesn't work as well. It's only got a handful of variables because a human can't process all those variables. You can't explain the story. And predictive doesn't tell the story. So what's the answer? The answer is the way we do it. I don't know how, but Matthew Shaw, my PhD friend, says for some reason you hit on the perfect blend of prescriptive and predictive. We do both. And we give you surprises, and it drives creative. And that's how we blow the doors off growth in companies. Companies that have been shrinking for years, we turn them around and make them grow with new ideas, because you'll never tweak to greatness. You'll never fine-tune to a big idea. You need breakthrough ideas, and AI can help. It blows my mind what I see. But it's helpful to have someone who understands direct marketing, testing, and telling a good story. So if you haven't heard about our AI ROI in 90 days, guaranteed, give me a call. Sorry to make this so commercial, but we got to pay for my fancy TV show. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I hope you join. I hope you like and share. Your friends will think you're smart.